Good day, everyone. I'm Miss Bernadeth A. Talip, and I would like to present to you my research study entitled Exposing with the Dirt, a Phenomenological Study of Scavengers. Introduction. Informal waste picking is one of the most diverse yet least understood types of informal unemployment. In Davao City, Tugbuk District serves as the dumping ground for the entire municipality, causing an increase in piling garbage. Moreover, based on the City Environment and Natural Resources Office in 2018 records, that the city's volume of waste generated averages 1,012 tons a day daily collection would only cover 292 tons a day, according to Cortez in 2019. The growing garbage has piled up and becomes alarming for the health of people living nearby and much worse to the people who found a living in the waste. In this study, the context of working in the waste industry has been a challenge of maintaining a job despite the threats. The dilemma that has contributed to several factors such as health conditions. This research aimed to know the scavengers' experiences, the difficulties, and the problems they encountered, and the coping mechanisms they adopted. We have 3 research questions for this research study. Specifically, it aims to answer the following questions. Number 1, what are the lived experiences of scavengers? Second, what are the coping mechanisms of the scavengers? And lastly, number 3, what are the insights of the scavengers towards the problems encountered? Looking at the theoretical lens, the sustainable livelihood theory explained the phenomenon exhibited in the dump site, where scavengers generate income with full knowledge of the dangers involved in handling solid waste materials. Society has a system that controls all the activities of mankind, up to including the way of livelihood. Nevertheless, sustainable livelihood approach advanced the insight the system is likely to distort regulatory guidelines of survival. Hence, subjects ending up looking for an alternative base, according to Nyami in 2016. For the research design, in this study, a qualitative design was employed. The use of phenomenological inquiry was observed through detailed, in-depth data collection from sources of information. The participants were 7 scavengers currently residing at Tugbuk District, Davao City. The techniques for data analysis is organizing the data, checking the quality of the information collected, finding the patterns and themes, and interpreting the data. For the results and discussion, for research question number 1, what are the lived experiences of the scavengers? Number 1 is collecting and selling wastes. Scavengers recover recyclable materials from mixed wastes and collect it. Paper, cardboards, metal waste, plastics, PET bottles, and other recyclable to junkyards or contractors, who resell them to middlemen or recycling companies. This is according to Asim et al. In 2012. The life conditions as driving forces. According to IMPAR study, 82.8% of scavengers claimed they started doing this employment because they didn't have any other options. Scavengers come from a marginalized background marked by poverty, lack of education, early participation into the informal labor-filled, and criminal activity. This is according to Marshall et al. In 2011. Now, one of their experiences is also involves risk and hazards. No? In terms of health risks, they encountered cough and colds, fever, injuries like cuts from sharp objects, punctured from nails and skewers, backaches due to heavy lifting. And also there is also hazards like earthquakes and landslide. And even worse, there are deaths due to accidents. The garbage truck backed up, leading to deaths or fractures of the scavengers. They also experience discrimination. They are looked down by other people because of disgusting kind of living. Other people belittle people working as scavengers, and people cover their noses when they visit the area. Now, for the research question number 2, the coping mechanisms adopted by scavengers. Number 1 is budget optimization. Budgeting income earned every day, and they contribute the money for the food of the family. Second is resilience. They endure the job of scavenging under the heat of the sun so that they could be able to provide food for their family. And they help one another in order for them to earn income. Number 3 is healthy diet and proper sanitation. In order to cope, they eat vegetables and fruits in order to avoid sickness, diseases. No? They take a bath constantly after doing scrapping or scavenging. And they also apply proper hand washing after doing scavenging activities. Another thing they do to cope up with the situation is they learned helplessness. They neglect hurtful words from other people, and they disregard criticism heard from others. For research question number 3, insights towards problems encountered by scavengers. Number 1 is they do self-preservation. They take care of their body, and they take a rest when work gets exhausting. Number 2 is social assistance. The government should focus more on the poverty issues. There are a lot of residents there struggling financially, including those who were not able to finish their schooling and get a degree, and ended up cohabiting at the early adolescent age. The government should give benefits to scavengers or offer a job opportunity way better than waste picking. And the government should provide financial assistance and livelihood projects instead of families working as scavengers. Dissatisfaction in work. Scavengers can only get satisfaction when their children are finished with their schooling, and that's only also the time they will stop scrapping. Scavengers are not contented with their work because the means of living is tough, and do not stay permanently in the dump site, and they do not want their kids to end up as scavengers. And lastly is better job opportunity. The scavengers wanted a better job opportunity as long as it is an adequate living. They are ready to leave the scavenging if there is another decent job and if there are other choices, and that there is also a job earning more than scavenging. For the references of my study, these are my references. Daghang salamat sa pagpaminaw. Thank you very much for listening.